Welcome to the depths of the strange, otherworldly, unknown, paranormal, and much more, where we explore theories that defy logic, reason, and will leave you questioning reality itself.
They lurk in the corners of our vision, slipping away before we can fully comprehend what we've seen. They make you look twice and even think twice about what you believe is real and not real. They are the mysterious figures that haunt our dreams and our physical realities. Today, we delve into the eerie phenomenon of shadow people. What are they? Where do they come from? And most importantly, what do they want? One of the most intriguing theories suggests that shadow people are interdimensional beings. According to this idea, our universe is just one of many, each existing in its own dimension, separated by thin veils of reality. While we live our normal, everyday lives, we probably have no idea that at the same time, there's another world filled with things we can't see or comprehend. We live in a physical world, and regardless of what most believe in, there is definitely a spiritual world. There are different levels of frequencies in which we experience our reality in, and these beings operate on a frequency that we can't see with our own human eyes. However, there are certain times in which we may match their frequency due to strong meditation practices. Or perhaps some people are more sensitive to these frequencies than others, like psychics and mediums. Or maybe just because of how we feel emotionally, since emotion is energy in motion that could tap into certain frequencies if strong enough. Sometimes, when these frequencies match, these dimensions intersect, creating moments where beings from other realms can cross over and be seen, if only for a brief moment. These interdimensional beings may not even be aware that they're entering our world. To them, our reality might be as mysterious as theirs is to us. If these shadow people are not from our dimension, then what world do they come from? Are they here with a purpose, or is it just an accidental crossover? Witnesses claim to feel much negative and dreadful energy during the few seconds of their experiences. Some claim to have dealt with these shadow people all their lives, almost as if they leech on and haunt the person. For what reason? Who knows? Whatever dimension they come from, we can probably conclude that these shadow people are malevolent, interdimensional beings. Another theory proposes that shadow people are not from another dimension, but rather from another time. I believe that time travel already exists, and it's being hidden from us, just like all the other otherworldly technology that is probably kept hidden in caves and underground bases in this planet. However, maybe this technology is far from perfect. There could be glitches, flaws that prevent these time travelers from fully materializing in our reality. What we see as shadow people could be echoes of these time travelers, caught between their time and ours. Almost as if they come into our timeline briefly, but not as a physical being, just as a shadow like anyone else's. Obviously, anyone who sees a random shadow moving on its own will get a hell of a scare, explaining why there's so much negativity said about these shadow people. These travelers may have a specific purpose. Perhaps they are historians, studying pivotal moments in time. Or maybe they are more sinister, altering events for reasons unknown. Having the power to control a time machine would be something the government and elites would have at their disposal. So imagine what secrets of our past or future they could be trying to mess with. If theories are correct, then changing just one small minor event in a timeline would completely make a drastic change, with so many other things not intended. Or in this case, perhaps it is intended. As far as why only certain individuals may see these shadow people and sometimes have them get latched on, well, perhaps these people will make certain choices in life that the dark travelers want to prevent. Just my thoughts, though. Some believe that shadow people are not beings in the traditional sense, but manifestations of negative energy. A similar, but not quite the same, scenario to the interdimensional beings theory. This theory suggests that intense emotions, especially those that are dark and unresolved, can create entities that take on a life of their own. In other words, shadow people might be the physical embodiment of fear, anger, hate, grief, or despair. These entities feed off the negative emotions of their surroundings, growing stronger and more defined the more fear they inspire. They are drawn to places of trauma, where emotions run high, hospitals, battlefields, homes with dark histories. Once they latch onto a person, they can become almost parasitic, draining their host of energy and leading to feelings of exhaustion, dread, and hopelessness. Basically, possessing the human body like a demon would. This theory would make sense since everything is energy, and we attract that energy with our thoughts and feelings. Could it be that shadow people are the dark reflections of our own emotional turmoil, given form by our deepest fears? I've had my fair share of dark moments in my life, but I can't say that I've attracted anything like this. And if I have, then thankfully, I couldn't see it. A more disturbing yet very interesting theory suggests that shadow people might be the result of failed or accidental astral projections. According to esoteric traditions, the human spirit can leave the body and travel across different planes of existence. This is known as astral projection, or an out-of-body experience, a deliberate act practiced by those who wish to explore the spiritual world. But what happens when something goes wrong? In this theory, shadow people are the spirits of those who have attempted to astral project but have become lost or stuck between planes. These entities are not fully in our world or the spiritual plane, and as a result, they appear as dark, featureless shadows. They may not even be aware of their state, wandering aimlessly, or perhaps trying desperately to return to their physical bodies. Some believe that they've encountered a shadow person during sleep paralysis as well, since sleep paralysis and out-of-body experiences are both linked to REM sleep, and many witnesses, including me, have experienced a dark figure during this. I have a video that discusses the phenomenon of sleep paralysis in more detail, so consider watching that to give you an idea of different theories associated with it. Have any of you ever astral projected or had out-of-body experiences? If you haven't, but are curious about it, how about trying out the gateway tapes? If you haven't heard of the gateway tapes, then I think you should look into it. But to summarize it, a man named Robert Monroe, who was once a radio broadcaster, later started studying altered states of consciousness. Eventually, he founded the Monroe Institute and developed the gateway process, which uses sound technology to induce out-of-body experiences and expanded awareness. The gateway tapes are audio recordings from the Monroe Institute's gateway process, designed to induce altered states of consciousness using meditation, binaural beats, and visualization. They gained attention after a CIA document explored their potential for expanding consciousness and enabling out-of-body experiences. There are many witnesses who have been able to accomplish the outcome of traveling to the spiritual realm by meditating and listening to these tapes. I'm still trying it out for myself, so I'll probably share my experience with it. Once I've listened to all of it, I'm just hoping I don't come across a shadow person or something worse. Perhaps the most terrifying theory of all is that shadow people are not human or even remotely benevolent. Instead, they are entities of pure evil, malevolent spirits or demonic beings that have crossed into our world with dark intentions. In many cultures, shadowy figures are seen as omens of death, disaster, or illness. They are believed to be drawn to places where suffering and despair are prevalent. These entities may not simply observe, they may actively cause harm, feeding off the fear and misery of their victims. In some reports, shadow people have been described as having glowing red eyes, a sign, some say, of their demonic origin. These entities might even attempt to possess the living, taking control of their bodies and minds to spread their darkness further. If you wonder how they could cross into our reality, well, there are a few ways I can think of off the top of my head, like using the Ouija board, practicing dark magic, performing demonic rituals, and just like I mentioned before, by feeling and thinking negative emotions constantly, which could make you very vulnerable to possession. Demonic or not, there is no doubt these beings give off a dark and disturbing presence. Shadow people, whatever they may be, remain one of the most enigmatic and paranormal phenomena of our time. Whether they are beings from another dimension, echoes of future travelers, or something far darker, one thing to keep in mind is they could be watching us, trying to latch on while we have no idea. I've never seen one, but someone close to me has, and according to them, the house they lived in was definitely haunted by something dark. So next time you catch a glimpse of something moving in the corner of your eye, ask yourself, is it just your imagination, or is there something more sinister lurking in the shadows? Are you sure you're alone? Please share your stories.
That's it for this video. I'm interested to know your thoughts and theories, so feel free to share them in the comments below. I'm also open to future video ideas. If you enjoyed the video and like this type of content, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thank you, and don't forget to keep questioning reality.